Got my co-host with me for this show. This is Spike. People ask me, what is he? Well, he's what we used to call a mutt, but since nobody can actually call a dog a mutt now, they have to be some kind of designer dog. I call him an SPCA purebred. Okay, buddy. All right. That little part of my face is clean. Thanks, partner. And I'm CharLee Simons. This is Do Not Talk, talking about two things you're never supposed to talk about: politics and religion and everything in between, talking to the people you're not supposed to talk to. Oh, no, they're irrelevant. Oh, don't put them on. You'll lose some listenership. You'll lose some viewership. We're live right now on YouTube. I don't know why. I've got 298 subscribers on YouTube. That's it. I've been algorithmed almost out of existence. I'll have shows that'll get 121,000 views on Rumble, and it will get 2 on YouTube. Screw YouTube. They've deleted me. They've shut me down. They've put me, I have 2 strikes against me, all for the most inane, insipid, and stupid and ridiculous things. YouTube is a waste. You can find me there, though, at CharLee Simons, CharLeeSimons, if you want. If you want to subscribe to the channel. Now, I know that sounds like you have to pay, but it doesn't. It's free. YouTube's the only one that calls it subscribe instead of, follow. But on Rumble, thank God for Rumble. Rumble.com/do not talk. Please follow that channel and click that little bell there too. That way it'll let you know every time I go live. And like I'm doing a thing called Godcast on there now. So I'm just going through a chapter a day. A chapter a day keeps false teachers away. And it's getting received very well. Started with the book of Luke, still in it. Just did chapter 6 today, chapter 7 tomorrow. So follow me for that. Click that bell so you get notified when I go live, would you please? At rumble.com/do not talk. Spike will appreciate it. You know what else Spike will really appreciate it? If you go to my merch store on my website and buy one of these mugs. Let's talk about politics and religion, buddy. You'll find shirts, hats, all kinds of stuff there. And every time you buy something there, you help the show because they share with the profits of whatever you buy. And the prices are not crazy. So much of these online merch stores and so on. I get it. They're trying to make more and more money. I'm not driven by money. If the Lord chooses to bless me financially, he always does. He knows what I need, like the lilies of the field, right? They're greatly clothed. Look at me. I got this is off a clearance rack shirt right here. Thank you, Lord, for that. I think it cost me $6. So I don't care about the money. I really don't. But if you can help, that would be nice at charleesimons.com. My guest today is this stud right here, Sheriff Richard Mack. He is going to be in Washington State this week with General Michael Flynn. And of course, Sheriff Mack wrote this extraordinary book. And you might want to pick one up for yourself. You can find it at all the places where you find book stuff. Sheriff Richard Mack. We're talking about this that's going on right now in Washington State.
Nothing more than when Democrats fight him on immigration. Leftist Washington State Attorney General is even suing a sheriff because the sheriff is helping the federal government with its law enforcement. Sheriff Dale Wagner of Adams County, Washington, joins us now from the far west of Washington State near Idaho. I hear you guys grow great sweet potatoes there. Washington State alleges that they are a sanctuary state, or I guess they are a sanctuary state, and that you have violated that, Sheriff. What have you done?
Well, I've done what every other law enforcement agent across the state of Washington is doing. We're upholding the laws pertaining to the situations that we're dealing with within our communities.
So,
go ahead.
What is the Attorney General so upset with you for?
Well, I think it's politics. We're dealing with a political situation, and as you explained, this is going on nationwide. Wherever the immigration topic comes up, we are part of it. Everybody's part of it right now. We have left and right fighting over territories and things like that. And quite frankly, my message is the sheriffs in Washington State are in the middle trying to deal with federal law and also local law or Washington State law. And so the confusion's there, but we're doing our part when it comes to helping our federal partners, their law enforcement agents. And now we're not going out with them and circling around wagons and pulling people in buses and things like that. But we do share information based off of certain contracts we have with the federal government, and he's upset about that.
Just for sharing information. That's the situation in Washington State. And that's why my guest today, Sheriff Richard Mack, is heading there in just a couple of days. Let's get him on the air now. Ready? Hit it. We've talked about this before, Sheriff Mack, the war against county sheriffs in general. And the left hates county sheriffs because you are elected. It's a constitutionally provided and protected office of the sheriff, and you take care of that county, period, regardless of whatever's going on lawlessly in the state in which that county is. And this is going on in Washington State, and that I found that on News Nation. I couldn't even find that any kind of story on what's going on the local Washington State television stations. They're ignoring it.
I actually haven't seen that news piece. Can you forward that to me?
I'll be glad to.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to.
But I've been talking to Sheriff Wagner a lot the last few weeks, and he's just trying to do his job, and that's it. And this really is perplexing. How a lawyer, and I guess the worst thing that lawyers do is they go to law school, because you get a result like Attorney General Brown in Washington State, because they declare themselves a sanctuary state or sanctuary cities, or both. And isn't it against the law to aid and abet criminals in your county or your city or your state? Sure. That is against the law, sir.
But they're a sanctuary state, like we are in California. They consider themselves a sanctuary state. So there's supposed to be protections to those who break the law. Yeah.
So if I did that to a murderer or someone who's just simply on the lam and he's running away from cops, and we made Washington State or Adams County, where Sheriff Wagner works and lives, if we did that, that wouldn't be against the law. You think that we can harbor and help illegal immigrants no matter what they've done, because it doesn't differentiate. The ones that just came here to have a job and soak up the taxpayers' dollars, or with the intent to commit fraud. Do you know Attorney General Brown? Did you know that there's like 538 daycare centers in your state, and over half of them are committing fraud? Did you know that? And you're going after sheriffs instead of
just like in Minnesota, huh? I knew that couldn't be just isolated there.
We've got information that Washington might be the worst one.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
This is insane. Now, when George Soros first started putting money behind getting deputy or district attorneys elected, both state and county and city, anywhere he could, getting district attorneys elected, putting millions of dollars into campaigns, which normally you wouldn't spend that kind of money on a DA race, but he did. And I thought, well, that's odd. Why would he go after district attorneys and make sure he starts getting his leftist communist pieces of crap in there like him serving in that capacity? It is an elected position. But now it's becoming so obvious. This was the plan all along: disrupt, destroy, tear down societies. That's his plan. That's always been the plan, to bring down the United States of America. And he did it by getting DAs elected. Well, in Washington State, he didn't put any money into that campaign, maybe because he knew that Washington State has a long history, thanks to the huge preponderance of population in Seattle, who are always going to vote on the left. He didn't have to worry about it.
Washington State has already been sacked.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. So why put any more money into that? Nick Brown has been serving in that capacity for a year now. It's sworn in just, this month last year. So, and he has been very true to form, letting criminals go and fighting against any kind of actually enforcement of the law. So law enforcement officers got to be incredibly frustrated there.
So this is what's happening. They're already appointing the sheriff in King County, and now they're trying to do that statewide, and they want to completely control the office of sheriff. And I'll tell you why. Because we really pushed it nationwide, and a lot of sheriffs joined and were united in not enforcing the COVID-19 mandates. First of all, they weren't laws. They never had any legislative authority.
A governor cannot make law.
Yeah, they were just orders. They were mandates. It's like, oh, a dictator told us what to do. We better do it. So
Right.
Anyway, and we teach this too, even if it had legislative authority and they were passed, we would still tell the sheriffs to ignore it and don't enforce it, because the rights of the people supersede any legislation. And the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, not legislation from feckless legislators and politicians. So now the other part of that coin is they're trying to get everybody appointed. They've already started in King County. And if anybody doesn't do what they're told, they sue them. And so Adams and others Adams County and other counties are getting that same thing, where we're having this big event in Pierce County, which is the greater Tacoma area. That sheriff's under attack. Many sheriffs who really believe in freedom, want to be constitutional sheriffs, want to just do their job, want to keep their oath. Why didn't somebody ask Attorney General Nick Brown if it's against the law to swear an oath and then violate it? So
that's a trick that the left's doing now, by the way, who are elected to these powerful positions. They're not taking their oath of office. You knew that was going on, right? In California, that's prevalent.
Yeah. So first of all, the United States Constitution requires every public official in the states or the several states, no matter what form of government, whatever level you're at, all three branches of government, all the public servants in all three branches are required by Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution to swear an oath of allegiance to the Constitution. And the founders did that so that they could perpetuate liberty forever. And now we're there. Did the founding fathers ever think, oh, there's going to be leftist, extremists, socialists, and communists that are not going to want to do that?
Most likely.
Wow.
Not. Yeah. I won't say the name of the county, but I'm very familiar with it, and it's up in NorCal where I am, where the Board of Supervisors has a whole lot of left-leaning people on there, even though it's supposed to be a red county. It's supposed to be a very conservative county, but people don't pay attention, and they don't show up for the midterm and primary elections. And now we've got a board that's
in Washington.
No. This is in NorCal, where I'm not saying the name of the county, but
what's the name of the state?
In California. I'm sorry, in NorCal.
Okay, good.
NorCal.
Yeah.
The Board of Supervisors appointed the last sheriff because the one before stepped down. Instead of having an election or an early election, they appointed the next sheriff. Never even had an election then, and that sheriff is definitely very left-leaning, doing gun buybacks, all kinds of crap like that. That county thinks that they got a red sheriff. They don't. And so you mentioned that's what they're trying to do. They get them fired, or they make them quit, or they bog them down in the legal system, and they have to step down, or whatever happens. Next thing you know, they're appointing a sheriff that's friendly to them, who's not going to be upholding the Constitution and the law that they swore to uphold.
Even worse, they just want to get sheriffs.
Is so important.
Oh yeah. Well, they want to get sheriffs that will do what they're told.
Yeah.
And that's the big problem here. But the problem is, if he's elected, he only answers to the people, and he's completely independent, except for the people that he answers to. And he doesn't answer to other politicians. He doesn't answer to committees. He answers to the power source, we the people. And I'm wondering if A.G. Brown also has ever heard this, maybe the Gettysburg Address, the last line, that government by the people, for the people, of the people, shall not perish from the earth. That's exactly what you're doing, A.G. Brown.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Because
Right.
you support the Democrat Party more than you support the Constitution and more than you're loyal to the people in your state. That's why you're doing that.
Well, you are working together with General Michael Flynn, another
Yes.
gentleman that I greatly admire and respect. And I wish I could attend this. It's up in Washington State, and it's happening this week. You're going to be in Washington with General Flynn, correct?
Mr. Mack goes to Washington, except it's one on the West Coast instead of the East Coast. But
That's
yes,
right.
General Flynn and I are pretty good friends. He's been to our events before. And this time he and I are headlining the big rally on January 9th. And that's this Friday.
Right.
And anybody, you're all welcome to come. I don't care where you live. We have somebody coming from Pennsylvania. We have somebody coming from Florida, from North Dakota, and quite a few from Idaho. I haven't seen Oregon yet. I know I sent some invitations out to people in California, but I haven't heard back. But I'll bet we have somebody from California.
I wish I could
know
be there.
somebody from Arizona.
If I could, I would so be there. You
We
kidding?
would love to have you, Charlie. Come
To
on,
get
man.
to see you and General Flynn together at this event would be what an opportunity.
I guarantee you that General Flynn and I will take a picture with you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now,
But also,
is it going to be online?
Let me finish the order of the event. So on Friday at 1:00, there's a press conference, and that's at the Experience Church where everything else is, and everybody's welcome to be there. Then, if you have to go to work and you're there, fine. Make it to our rally, Save Our Sheriff's rally at 6:00, and that's at the Experience Church in Puyallup. Okay, 1515 South Meridian in Puyallup. Okay, it's right on our website. The flyer's on our website. Then the following morning, starting at 9:00 in the morning, all public officials, former or present, public officials, sheriffs, cops, deputies, law enforcement, chiefs of police, city councilmen, county commissioners, board of supervisors, whoever, state legislators, Governor A.G. Brown, you're all welcome to come and hear and learn about the Constitution for public officials.
Wouldn't that be something if he showed up?
And we will focus on the Constitution and on my Supreme Court case.
You did this. That's where I met you a few years ago at the dagnabbit, that church out in Yuba City, Marysville area. That's where I met you, and you were there with Chris Ann Hall. You were there with Chris Ann Hall, and you did this, and it was basically a day-long training for law enforcement officers, not just sheriffs.
Mine wasn't day long, but yeah, I know I did.
Well, you were part of that, though, is what I'm saying. It was.
It's about a 2-hour class, and we're going to have other speakers there, and we want to hear from the sheriffs that are having all these problems. But first of all, folks, we're focused on a solution for all of this, and we really aren't there going to be vitriolic or antagonistic. We want to bring in the good Democrats that there are and have them stop voting for the same people and let the Democrat Party know they can't count on you anymore. Vote for people who will follow the Constitution and the principles of freedom that we were founded upon.
Yeah.
We must have people voting, and we must have people in government that uphold, defend civil rights. The most important thing your sheriff or anybody in law enforcement or anybody in government can do is to protect your rights. And I quote the Declaration of Independence, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. Folks, that's what we're doing in Puyallup, Washington, this Friday and Saturday. You're all welcome to it.
I love that you're doing that. And yes, everybody's welcome, most definitely. Your efforts, I pray, will never go unrewarded because I know you put so much time into all these things.
And Charlie, when you tell me you're coming, I guarantee you I'll have a hotel room paid for you.
Sweet. Now, you already promised you were going to take me out golfing, though, because I know you're a big golfer. You already promised that.
Probably not in Puyallup, but if you come to Arizona, you better believe I'll take you golfing.
Okay, sounds good. Now, what's this website you were talking about where we can find all the information?
C as in Charlie. S as in Sam. P as in Paul. O as in Ocean. A as in Adam. CSPOA.org. And the flyer's right there. Get that and get copies of my Supreme Court case. And that's it. This is the most important book you can have, except for the Bible and the Pocket Constitution.
That's
Otherwise,
right.
you want to get bunches of these. This is really small, fits in your shirt pocket. Okay. And you can read this in 10 minutes, but you definitely want to read this. This is the most powerful 10th Amendment freedom case in the history of America. So get these and pass them out to your local officials, to your friends, and anybody who doesn't believe in our Constitution. Back it up with this.
Beautiful.
For state sovereignty. Yep.
CSPOA.org. That's CSPOA stands for the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association.
That's
which
it.
is something that you spearheaded. You put that together. And again, I just pray for your effectiveness, that the Lord will lift you up and strengthen you, because you're not doing this for the money. You're doing this for the love of country. And I just appreciate you so much. Thank you, my friend, for being on the show and letting us know about your event this Friday and Saturday up in Washington State.
That's correct. Thanks so much.
All right, buddy. As an admirable gentleman right there. And please go to that website and get the information. If you could show up in Washington State at the end of this week, be there. I sure would if I could. I'll tell you what. And you can find me at CharLeeSimons.com, CharLeeSimons.com. Get yourself one of these awesome mugs, big old 15-ounce mug. I've got big hands, and look at all my fingers fit in that handle. I love big mugs, of course, red. Of course. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. But most importantly, America bless God.